Another reason we haven't seen the NBA like this is simply the balance. The West has no clear answer at the moment. The Nuggets are really good, the Grizzlies aren't far behind, and teams like the Suns are toward the back of the conference due to injury. And they also just traded for Kevin Durant while keeping Chris Paul and Aiden, giving them one of the craziest starting fours ever. Hold on, I didn't write this shit. Okay, wow, no, yeah, that's a real thing that happened. This is a real event, this is real news, this is a crazy week. I don't know if I recall a trade deadline like this. We are 100% confirmed to be living in somebody's NBA 2K simulation. This Kevin Durant is a Phoenix Sun. Now, am I surprised? Yeah, no, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I didn't think with the speed that they had to trade Kyrie Irving that they had time to put a deal together that they were actually going to like. Figured they were just gonna let it rock for this season. He would come back, they would have a playoff exit, and he would be traded this summer. If you go back and watch the Kyrie Irving video, it's exactly what I thought they should do. I thought that Brooklyn was never going to win a championship with this roster, even though it was good. And you look at the pieces they got, this is still a pretty intriguing team. With Kevin Durant on it before the trade, I just thought, hey, you know what? KD's value is still going to be really high this summer. He will definitely win out without Kyrie Irving. He will 100% win out. And the Brooklyn Nets will start to rebuild. Well, they did that 48 hours after that video. Wow, okay. Well, I get it for the Phoenix Suns. They were on the clock. The Phoenix Suns went to the finals in 2021. They lost in 6 games. 2022, they had one of the most humiliating exits I've ever seen a contender have. And, you know, the Suns are a fun team for everyone to hate. After they lost to the Mavericks, they got put on the clock and basically saying, hey, we don't care if they win 70 games until they get back to the finals, and until they win, nobody's really going to be talking about them. They might have even been somewhat like that before they lost to the Mavs last year, but specifically as it pertains to timing for them, I'd been curious what their next move was with Chris Paul's age, and it's pretty clear that just offensively, he's not really the same player that he was even a couple of years ago. He's gotten older. He's not as efficient from the mid-range this year, definitely not the same at the rim. And I was just going, well, CP3 was your championship window for this team. They don't win a championship without him. They didn't get it done in 2021, and obviously last year they didn't even get to the conference finals. So what do you do with Booker and Aiden? What do you surround them with? What's the next thing that you bring in to keep these younger guys happy? Aiden already has been kind of unhappy, but then there's Booker, and I was like, once CP3 goes, I just don't know really what you do. Well, they did, to be honest, love it or hate it, or hate it or love it, they did exactly what you're supposed to do in this scenario. We were just talking a couple of days ago, well, really a couple of weeks ago, about how wide open the Western Conference is. There just was not a clear winner here, man. There's a really good teams and teams that you can put you can, I guess, wisely put your money on, but there was no guarantee. And when the conference is like that, you grab it by the throat. I feel like that's what the Suns did here, because this is a power move. It was not cheap. This was not cheap. This was a move that signals they understood exactly where the West was, because they went all in. Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder wasn't even playing, but they threw him in there. Oh gosh, 4 first-round picks, pick swaps. This deal is huge, and the Nets ate good off of it. We're gonna talk about them a little bit towards the end, but yeah, I don't even know what happens after this when they don't win it, if they don't win a championship. But they went all in, and again, wisely so. How many times have we seen teams put stars together, put unstoppable offensive game plans together, put guys together, and basically say, okay, how are you gonna beat us 4 times? We've seen that. This really dates back pretty much to the 08 Celtics, when you just kind of overwhelm the conference, when you overwhelm the NBA with talent. Unless there's injuries, it typically works. And the thing about the Suns is, I'm looking at what they gave up. They gave up a lot of future players. Obviously, Mikal Bridges, that's a really good and important piece. That's a two-way guy. And Cam Johnson is good, but all right, so they more or less still have a similar bench to what they had. You still got Damian Lee, who's a top 3-point shooter. TJ Warren actually came in this deal, so he'll be off the bench if they need him. Still have Shamet there. This just didn't completely rattle their bench. It's not like they gave up everything and now how they're playing G Leaguers off the bench, it still looks pretty similar. Then in that starting lineup, you're going to have Chris Paul setting the table for Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, and Aiden as a role threat in an offense that has Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. Like, my brain has been spinning since this trade went down, just thinking about what this looks like on offense, because the fact that Chris Paul is not necessarily the same anymore does not even matter right now. If he becomes a guy that scores strictly when they need him to, but sets up the floor perfectly for Devin Booker, Aiden, and KD, most teams have already lost. And that's what really baffled me here, the fact that they were able to keep CP3 and Aiden. If you would have told me this deal was going down, I would have 1000% thought that at least Aiden was a part of it. And then so you get CP3, Book, and KD, and that's cool, but then now it starts to look a little bit thin down low. They kept them. What do you do when these guys start screening for each other? The amount of options that they have to pop, to roll, to slip and draw the defense in, and still have shooters out there. Like, bro, what? At a bare minimum, if you need it, you have KD and Book to bail you out at the end of a shot clock. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. This is it's been sinking in for a while. So you look at the Western Conference, you look at this team and go immediately, all right, they do not have a reason not to make the NBA Finals. And I'll be honest, I like it this way. Well, okay, let me. I like that the West has a villain, because I did enjoy how mysterious it was and not having a clue who was going to come out of this cohort of like 6 teams, but now there's a clear top dog people will be shooting at. There's a clear team people will be gunning to take down, which as I'm recording this, trade deadline is not done, so it's got me wondering what deals are other teams gonna make, because the ball is in their court. I will also say that I have learned my lesson from these type of teams. We just saw KD, Harden, and Kyrie not work. We know way back in the day, Brooklyn tried to join a bunch of talent. Of course, they were older. Anyways, my point is that just putting the talent together doesn't win. Gotta actually get them on the court, gotta stay healthy. There's 100 things that still have to go right. By this point, I have learned better than just to look at it graphic and think, damn, give that team the championship. But if they are able to play together, gosh. KD as a help defender has been fascinating this year, and he'll get to do that as part of the Phoenix Suns. He's going to be playing with a point guard that sets things up flawlessly and another shooting guard who can also just take the ball and create. So he's played with a creator before. There's that to worry about. And then, you know what? I'm going to let somebody else handle the offensive schemes. There's just too much stuff to break down there. My dream at this point would be a Suns-Mavs rematch for obvious reasons. Now Kyrie Irving is playing there. I'm going to assume the Suns will be looked at as favorites with this move. Should those two teams meet, you'll be able to invoke what happened last year, and it'll just be really great drama and hopefully great basketball. But yeah. Somebody was going to do it. Look, somebody was going to do it, okay? Just expect this. When conferences are open and they're super competitive and you don't know who's going to come out of them, somebody is going to come along and fill that void. It's the NBA era that we live in. Somebody is going to take command as soon as they can. As far as the Nets, once again, mentioned them a little bit at the beginning of the video. Just great stuff from them. So many of their picks were with the Houston Rockets. They didn't have a future. I'm assuming they will probably move Ben Simmons by the time this video is uploaded. They've also got a bit of a logjam going on with the wings, so yeah, we'll just see. They're not done wheeling and dealing. But yeah, you've got a lot of nice young pieces here, and if you hadn't been paying attention, Cam Thomas has had 3 straight 40-point games. Just so you know, he's been an offensive spark guy. This isn't just, oh, it's a random and nobody knows him. When he gets opportunity, you see that there's some level of talent there, so that's a really nice piece. Shouldn't have to tell you about Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton has had a really solid year. Just as far as a rebuilding point, this is pretty cool, because they also don't even have to take this from a point of tanking. The picks that they have are other teams' picks. A lot of them are anyway, so they don't have to even just do this thing where there's a losing culture. Look, for a team that 1 year ago had Harden, KD, and Kyrie, I'm gonna say they got themselves, especially with the time frame that they had to get themselves out of this is about as good as they could have hoped for. But I'm still going to assume, yes, you can take the Nets off the board in the Eastern Conference. A month ago, they were contending, and now I don't know if they're going to lose their spot in terms of the playoffs. I'm not even 100% convinced this won't be a play-in team, but we have to see what the rest of the deals are first. Anyways, yes, here we go again. Kevin Durant on another amazing team. The man's got a knack for finding himself around some incredible talent. You got to give it to him. My boy has played with prime Russell Westbrook, then Steph, Clay, Dre, Kyrie, Harden, and now add CP3, Booker, and Aiden to that list. Interesting career retrospective he's gonna have. Well, we'll be watching basketball and talking more trade deadline stuff at playback.tv/dom2k, link in the comment section and description. It's literally where we just watch basketball and hang out, do it basically every day, so feel free to join us. Also feel free to hit the like button, comment, and sub if you enjoyed this video, while hitting the bell next to my name if you want notifications every time a new video drops. Appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you on the next one.